So it's Friday, February 20th. It's 2 days after my initial video about installing OpenClaw and creating my own personal AI assistant. And yesterday, you always run into trouble. So in order to set up the Mac Mini, I have to first connect it to a keyboard and mouse and display temporarily, even though it's going to be headless and sit by itself. It is now by itself behind me. But yesterday I had a display. I had a keyboard and mouse. I had an old Magic Mouse here. And after quite a bit of fooling around, I got this to connect. I had to, actually, I just took it in another room, but I had to disconnect. I had to turn off Bluetooth on my other computers. Even with it not showing up, it still wouldn't connect. It was just a pain in the neck. And then I have this Logitech keyboard, which is awesome, but would not connect. And it has a cable you can connect, but the cable's only for charging, not for connecting. So no matter what I would do, I could not get this to Bluetooth into this new Mac Mini. So I walked down to Mission Street, down the street from here. Actually, I did a lot of walking and looked at a bunch of local stores. I ordered a wired mouse and a wired keyboard on Amazon for future use because I expect to need to do this again to be able to connect to it, but I really wanted to get this done yesterday. So I found one of these old Apple keyboards in a store that was used. I bought it. It was cheap, and it connected, it worked, although most of the keys on it didn't work. So as I was able to type in our Wi-Fi password, which is the key part of the whole thing. With a mouse, you can do most of it, but you have to add your password for your Wi-Fi, which luckily didn't involve any keys that didn't work. So I was able to get the basic Mac setup, which you do with any new Mac. You choose a language and your region and blah, 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 and you turn most of the stuff off. And once that's all set up, I now have it behind me running headless. So it's plugged in. It's just the Mac Mini by itself with nothing else whatsoever. And that was yesterday's accomplishment. A little slow, but I have a full-time job besides doing this. So I'm just doing this in a little areas that I can squeeze it in. So today was about getting Tailscale up and running. And I have a chart behind me, but I'll bring it up. But we basically, my buddy who's helping me with this, who's doing this simultaneously to me, although he's not right here, so we FaceTime a bunch and chat. He really laid out these 4 pillars of how to think about installing this AI assistant and using OpenClaw, because there's a lot of potential issues. And 2 of the biggest ones are security, first off, and cost. So for security, that's why we're using a separate dedicated Mac Mini. And I have installed on it via a product called UTM, a virtual machine. So not only is this Mac Mini by itself, it also, inside of it, I'm running a virtual machine running the same Mac OS, but isolated completely from the rest of the overall OS. I know that sounds a little complicated because we've got an OS with an OS. And then I screen share it to my computer here through screen sharing. So I'm looking at an OS inside an OS inside an OS. But it's all up and running. It's working great. And then the Tailscale thing is a product that basically sets up a VPN that allows me to SSH in to the Mac Mini and to the virtual machine, which means I can connect to it basically via terminal just to do commands if I need to modify things. I can connect through screen sharing here when I'm home, but this Tailscale lets me connect anywhere in the world via my phone, via my laptop, securely and that's a big thing about security, a secure VPN, a mesh network, to be able to manage it. I have not installed OpenClaw itself at all, just setting up the basic structure here. The next step, which we will probably pull the trigger on over the weekend, will be getting OpenClaw in. So more about that soon.